Calling all retro gamers.
Calling all retro gamers!
Calling all retro gamers!
Calling all
retro gamers!
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another fine episode of Calling All Retro Gamers. I'm one of your hosts, Rich. I'm over here with my partner, Crime Ad. What's going on?
I found that funnier than
that was awesome. That was awesome. And of course, we have a special guest tonight. We've got the Atari Creep down here. What's going on, man?
What's happening, guys? What's the good word tonight?
Good to see you. We're here ready to chat. Just hang out with the folks here in the chat. We'll have a nice conversation about some cool retro stuff.
Nice.
We got some awesome things to dig into. And we got people in here already. We got Lloyd R. Jim. What's going on? We got Christopher Westerman. What's going on?
Yeah.
And Brian F.
Hey.
Yes, it is. What's going on? What's up? What is up?
Oh,
All right, cool. So, so how we do this is, again, it's open chat. We're just hanging out. We're just talking about some cool stuff.
Right on.
But first, because we have our special guest, and that is the Atari Creep. Let's give you the floor a little bit. Tell us all a little bit about what you do, your channel, all that kind of cool stuff, and then we'll dip into some more topics.
Okay, yeah. If any of you don't know me, I'm Chris, the Atari Creep. Chris is just fine. I got a YouTube channel that I've been playing with since 2013, where I basically just talk about all cart-based gaming, anything, mostly pre-NES, but I will go into the 16-bit and stuff like that. I don't just center around games. I build projects. I might actually start back up doing video commentary, movie commentary tracks.
Oh, nice.
I did that a couple of years ago on Halloween, and it was such a success. I wanted to do it again. I think you were there, Richard, weren't you?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And I actually just got a comment today on that video.
That's awesome.
Dude liked it. So, yeah. So I've been thinking about doing that and getting back into the whole movie loft part of my channel. But if you're into games, art, and just having a good time, guitars, stuff like that, I'm very impulsive, so don't expect some kind of a regiment. I don't have like a show on Tuesday and a show on Thursday. I may look at a game today and not look at a game for 2 months. So, and that's it. I have a vlog channel that I do a lot of guitar work on. And I don't know. It's randomness and it's fun.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I love looking into a lot of that like vlog content too, because you do a lot of really awesome work, like actually creating and building guitars, which is cool. Like I find that very fascinating. I think didn't you recently have a post where you did a resin pour? Recently?
Yeah. I have never done a resin pour. I work for an artist supply house. And so I'm exposed to a whole bunch of things that I don't normally I just paint or I build physical things, whether it be little toys or 3D printing helmets, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never done, and I'm friends with this guy online. He calls himself ID Art, as in identification art, but ID is his initials.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all he does is resin pouring, and it's just amazing looking stuff.
Yeah.
And I originally asked him if he would do the body. And he said, no, try it your damn self. And if you can't get it going, strip it and send it to me.
Nice.
So
nice.
I didn't do all the equipment I should have. I just bought the ready pour stuff and used that. I think it came out okay. It came out all right. I did get, there's a silicone you need to dip into it and stuff like that. And this little process of dragging the paint and hitting it with heat. And these big cells are supposed to open up. It almost looks like, and I call it the R-type. In the background of R-type, how it looks very like webbed but organic.
Yeah.
It's supposed to look like that, but I didn't get so much that. I just got a lot of little cells that look like if you're looking through a microscope at a blood sample or something. It's crazy.
That's cool.
Yeah.
As I said, I noticed one or two of your videos back. I forget what it was, but you said, "Hey, I made this for a client," and I was like, "Oh, that's like it was like some like miniature figurine or."
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was just neat because it was just like random, like, oh, okay, cool. You paint and do other. Like,
Yeah, you know, and it's funny. Once in a while, when I have equipment that works, I'll live stream some of that. Like for one of my walks, I did the Toonie Terror Jason Voorhees figure.
Yeah.
It's a line of toys that make our monsters look like Scooby Doo villains, and I painted it to be the NES and gave it away later on. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Oh, that Chris,
I remember that.
my favorite videos too that you do is like you'll take a chance on something. Like when you bought that weird like Pong, like Atari, like that huge monitor.
Oh my God, that monstrosity of a piece of plastic.
Yes, and you'll even say like this is a piece of junk, and then like it's fun to see that stuff. I'm glad that you get it cheap. And then what was that other some other like Atari thing that there was a few videos back that you hooked up and it kind of like half worked. I think you got like something you got like a Goodwill. It was like a controller. I forget what it was, but you said like the control plays a lot better than it looks, and I had like weird buttons. Oh, I can't remember. Yeah,
I do so much of that. I don't like to vet my stuff.
Yeah.
I don't mind opening and experiencing it for the first time on the camera.
Yeah.
And if it's a fail, so what?
But that's what
Let's open it up.
I love that. Yeah.
Let's open it up and see what's going on.
Yeah.
You know?
You're going to take that journey with you. It's like, here's this piece of junk I paid a couple of bucks for. Let's see if it was worth it. You're totally on it. It's fun.
Yeah.
And then you'll get something cool like that box of like Activision cards. Like I enjoy seeing that too. But it's fun seeing the junk because we don't know.
You're right. Yeah, I had no idea if that Pong thing was ever going to even work. I was surprised it even turned on, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah. But yeah, no, you're extremely honest. You're brutally honest, and it's raw. And you just like, I love that you're like, I'm just going to point the camera. I'm going to say my thoughts and feelings, and you can either like it or not. Let's go. And it's fun.
Thank you. It's the only way to be, man.
Yeah. No, it's totally cool. It's totally cool. So, so you did mention just a little bit ago that you did a piece for something you referred to as the walk. Do you want to talk a little bit about what you do for that a little bit? Sure.
I would do this with or without the YouTube channel, but since I have the platform, every year I register with the Alzheimer's Association to gather funds. All monies go directly to them. I don't see a dime of it. To raise money for awareness, for research. Some of the money goes to aid folks who have to care for their families who are inflicted with Alzheimer's or any other dementia-like diseases. My father passed away of it in 2006, and he was only 63. So he had gotten in his 50s. They call it early onset. So when I moved back to Boston 7 or so years ago, my lady here was doing it in honor of her grandmother. So I said, you know what? I'm going to use my platform, and every year I've tried to raise funds. I do, hopefully, in some cases, really fun activities with everybody here online. We usually have a lot of really great giveaways. People donate really amazing stuff to my cause. There's a lot of great folks that are behind it, including you, Richard. Rich is probably the number one supporter of this outside of me. I mean, he does his own walk. So I can't thank you enough for that, getting the word out. There's a new T-shirt, you're buying it. If there's anything with it, you're buying it, you're spreading the word, and I can't thank you enough for that. But so I just try to raise money up until the walk itself. I technically have until the new year. I cut it off at Halloween just because. The walk this year is actually in a weird time. It's normally late December, but it's going to be I think I wrote it down, the 16th of October in Cambridge, Mass.
Okay.
So we're going back to we went back last year too, but we had to do our own during the pandemic, obviously.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much all that really is. I just try to raise the money and get the awareness out there. It's sad to see all of the folks who contact me by thanking me, but they too have a loved one who's either going through it or have gone through it. It's kind of heartbreaking in that. We got a really rad guy, Retro Game Boys with a Z. He makes custom controllers. He was in on it day one. And every year he donates a brand new custom controller of your choice. I haven't talked to him yet this year, but while we were in our first campaign together, his grandmother actually passed away of Alzheimer's about halfway through our campaign. So
Yeah.
It's really important to a lot of people. It may not inflict everybody that is watching now, but somebody it's going to impact one way or the other. Every 60 seconds or so, someone is not diagnosed, but is inflicted with it. I guess you say they develop some sort of dementia, whether they get diagnosed or not. So we really need to get in that ring and bob and weave, as my dad would say, and try to knock this thing right out of the.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, it is, for me, it was such a great cause to just kind of, like to see and promote. You put so much passion in to doing all of your efforts each year, and it was all that I could do to just to help. It's such a great cause.
Thank you.
And the cool thing is, the organization is putting in the work. Every year there's some kind of breakthrough, there's some kind of story. So it's kind of like really flooring to see that there's so many advancements that come out each year. With the organization, and
right,
you got to know that even though it might be that just a drop in the bucket for whatever we can do to put in there. I mean, it's making some kind of difference, and that's really what it's about.
Right. That's excellent. Raising awareness, right? Raising awareness, making people.
Right. You'll notice I'll use that word a lot more than I will funds.
Yeah.
That's right. So, so just to put it out there for anyone's watching live or for anyone's watching on replay, where would we be able to go to possibly take part in this?
I do have a link on my channel under every video. I could verbally speak it out. Let me put it in the chat.
Yeah.
I'll get it into the chat at some point if you want to pin it or whatever.
Yeah, we'll put it in the comments. It'll be in the description as well. So.
Okay, wonderful. I'm going to slowly search for it here. I have to cut and paste the exact link because if you type it out, somehow it doesn't work. I don't know.
I think
no worries. Yeah.
And Chris, I might actually have you covered.
Okay.
Because I have. Well, I'm gonna put your channel link in the chat because it's in every video for you.
Right. It's act as an act.alz.org / go to / and then Atari Creep, one word, no underscores.
Yeah. Alrighty. Awesome. Yeah.
All right, I think I got it here. Do.
Otherwise, I'm not.
Yeah, I'll just steal it from my channel.
There you
go. All right, where's my comments? But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. And it's a 3-mile walk, which is perfect because I got a bad hip. We start off across the street from the Boston Museum of Science in Cambridge. We do the Freedom Trail. We actually walk past the Constitution, meaning the boat, not the actual document, and circle our way back to the big grassy field in Cambridge.
That's cool.
Yeah, thank you. Copy this link. Sorry it took so long.
No worries. So, while I was looking for stuff, I couldn't help to notice too that you have an Etsy store.
I do.
You make all this stuff? Here, let me.
Yes, cool. Everything in the Etsy store I've made.
Let me.
Oh, thank you, Colin Retro Gamers.
There we go.
Yeah.
However, I'm going to mispronounce that.
Go ahead, try it. I want to see how good you get.
Milieu Macabre?
Milieu Macabre. You're close. You're a lot closer than most. Yeah.
But yeah, I'll just scroll. I mean, dude, this is so like, Inspired Castle Grace. Like, that's really cool. Like, is that made from scratch or from a mold or like that's
Which one? Oh, okay. So the Gray Skull,
Yeah.
that was a 3D print that I actually altered myself to look a little bit better. I have an existing file that I used. I 3D printed it, cleaned up all the lines, casted it, or molded it, and then cast it and painted them myself.
That is really neat. That is
That's
really
awesome.
cool. Yeah. I
Yeah.
was just because I was looking around for that link and I just happened to. I was
Yeah,
like,
it's
wow,
about 3 inches tall. It's not too big.
gotcha. Okay, so yeah, probably when you had that video when you were painting this thing for a client, and it was like probably something here. Like, yeah, that's. No, I just haven't come across anybody that we've had on that's had like an Etsy store. So I'm like, it's pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, no,
appreciate you showing it. I really do.
Yeah. Oh, inspired. Oh, is that like a mini? Is it like a mini joystick?
Yeah. It's actually a recast of a joystick Christmas ornament.
Oh,
I had
cool.
made a couple. I had made a couple for myself or something, and a few people showed interest in it. So I actually went out and made the mold, and made them a couple. And I just said, "The heck with it! I got the mold. I'll put it up there. If they want me to take it
There
down,
we
I'll
go.
take it down."
I just wanted to show people so they could see that to scale. That's really that's.
Yeah,
That
it's little. Actually, I might have
Yeah.
the base of one right here.
Yeah. I know I'm
Yeah.
like totally derailing us, but that's what we do.
No, This is how big it is.
Okay.
Oh, there we
It's just a
go.
little guy. Just a little guy.
Nice.
Neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's totally
Yeah.
cool.
This is gonna have one of my creatures glued to it.
Oh, nice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's gonna be on there like
Or the
that.
joystick would be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's neat. That's neat. Yeah, it's awesome to just kind of like be like creative and mess around with all that kind of stuff. It's neat.
Yeah, I love it. Everything around me is about creativity, believe it or not. I got a
Nice.
giant panel I'm painting right now, right here.
So is this then like what would you call like your art room / YouTube studio / project
dining
room?
room. In my dining room,
Yes.
which I turned into the art room.
Yeah, turn into everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
that's
Oh,
great.
no.
Your wife is like totally cool with that, I assume.
Yeah. Yes and no. Yes and
That's
no.
good.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
no one lets me.
or you just do it. They're like, you're like, deal with it.
Sometimes I'll try to be as not intrusive with it as, but I'm a little more courteous to that. I try to clean it up. In fact, I got this big folding table that I brought here and literally tried to get everything on there. In fact, I was supposed to do my work on there. And that was the whole idea, clean up the dining room table, which none of us sit together at anyway. It's whatever. I got teenage girls in the house, and they don't want to sit with us. But I still do everything right here. I got my Posca pens here ready to go after,
Yeah.
we're done. I got my brushes still right here.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Paint.
Yeah. I'm renting space for my very gracious wife.
Nice.
And,
Oh,
that's
you know what else?
in my little world.
Other random thought too. Since now Chris
Yeah.
has an Evercade, sometime we can also have him on Evercast.
That's right.
Since he
Yeah. It's right there.
Yeah.
Tonight's my Friday, so tomorrow will be an Evercade video I will make and produce and get out by the end of the day.
Oh, very cool.
I'll
Very
let
cool.
you guys know that I'm going to do my first legit Evercade review.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Or
Very cool.
video. I should say
Video,
video.
yeah,
It's not a
yeah.
review.
Speaking of those things, these
Mhm.
fine things came in
Yeah, he's
my,
already got those.
my mail today.
Nice. What are those? I can't see them on my little screen.
It's Morph Cat Collection 1 and Intellivision Collection 2.
Oh, I've been waiting for Collection
it's the-
2. I just
It's
got
the new
one.
ones. Yeah, technically they release on the 30th.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, because I did
of
a pre-order
June.
through,
So
I think through Amazon.
yeah, they'll probably ship because in the States they'll ship on street
Yeah.
date. So you'll probably get them next week.
Okay.
But I ordered from Funstock, and because they're the official retailer of Blaze, once
Right.
because they want to get it to you as soon as they can, and they don't know how customs goes, they'll ship like a week and a half early, and sometimes it'll hit port in New York get processed and to just show up on my door the next day.
Oh,
which is
okay.
exactly what happened.
Yeah.
I got my shipping notification on Thursday, and I'm like,
Okay.
that's a little early. I mean, I usually get it, you know, like I would get it this Thursday for next week, right?
Right on.
And then they had the federal holiday this week, and,
Right.
And I was like, oh, well, I'll probably get it Wednesday. And I came home from work today. The box was right there. I was like, wow.
Isn't that a great feeling?
It was awesome. It was really cool.
Lloyd,
And
where
it's
did you get yours from?
like-
Where did you order from? Did you order from Funstock too? Because he says his hasn't shipped yet.
For me,
I got mine through Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah, I went looking for him, and his one, and my machine's right over there.
yeah.
I had to get one through Best Buy, but it was one of those you can pick it up in 2 or 3 days. It'll be shipped to the store.
Oh, nice.
So I was able to do that, but on the same day, I pre-ordered on Amazon Part 2.
Yeah.
Just so I can at least have the 2 of them now.
There's some good games on here too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Lloyd, I order mine through Video Games Plus as well, and I think they'll ship out when Amazon does, probably towards the end of the month.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll have to wait unless you want to pay the Queen's British Sterling pound, pay that premium to get it from Funstock.
I mean, it's only. I mean, for me, it's only a couple bucks, I guess. All in when I bought it. I mean, I bought it with the hat. So my all-in price, US dollars, was like $56 for the bundle. So it's the two cartridges, the hat, and that includes shipping. So I'm like, whatever. But
I'd buy that for $1.
But I had a clip in there somewhere.
Yeah, normally it's like $45 for the cartridges from Funstock when you buy just a regular 2 and you're not getting anything else. So I'm like, even still, it's like a couple bucks, and you're like, all right, whatever. It's
Yeah. I might switch over to Amazon though, because depending, with the chip shortages, there's different delays and whatever. We'll get it when we get it. I'm still playing Renovation Collection anyways.
Yeah, I mean, well, for me though, now I'm spoiled, right? Like, this is the 3rd time in a row that I've ordered from Funstock, and I've gotten the carts early, and I'm like, well, I'm just not going to stop then. It's like, I'm getting this early. Like, why would I not do this?
You're right, Lloyd. I may have to switch. I got my next 2 pre-orders for them, but
yeah. So speaking of games, let's get into some game talk here.
Okay.
We ask all of our special guests one specific question. Of course, the audience here knows what's coming. And that question is, what game defines you? So, Ed, you want to set up that question?
Sure. So,
please,
here's my question. So, it's a game because I've kind of asked myself this. So, it doesn't necessarily have to be a game that you like, not necessarily a favorite game. Just kind of the aha moment. Like for me, couldn't tell by the Zelda hat. Like for me, it was Zelda because it was kind of like the first time I saw a game where you just had to figure stuff out. You could blow open doors.
Okay.
It was tough. Nothing. No one held your hand, and life is kind of like that. Like you gotta figure stuff out. So for me, that was kind of what really got me into games, and it blew my mind away at the time. So kind of that same thing, like a game that kind of you could say kind of has that life changing experience for you.
Oh yeah. Now that you put it that way, that's easy as all get out. I'm going to say Space Invaders for the Atari 2600. It's my favorite port of the game ever, including above the cabinet. Not saying that you should feel that way, so no one come after me. It was the very first video game I can remember sitting down and literally trying to get better each time. The very first game, the very first game that I got excited to get home from school to go play. There was just something about its simplicity, the design of all the little characters, the sounds, the pulse of it.
Yep.
And the fact that I was actually getting better and doing very well.
Yeah.
Well, all my friends weren't doing as well as me, which is very rare because if you've watched me play any games, I'm not the greatest at any of them. And I was good back in the day, but now that I'm an old man, the reflexes aren't there. But it was the first game I actually had some pride. I swelled up with, dude, I can rock this game. I'm better than these other people. I'm not going to gloat about it. Yeah, Space Invaders Atari 2600.
Nice.
Easy,
Yeah, I mean,
easy money.
I've got tons of memories of that game.
Mhm.
Playing, when
There we go.
when I was growing up. Yeah, I mean, but
Oh.
you're so right about the sounds. It's that beat. It almost like you can almost get into kind of like a gaming trance, right? Because
Yep.
if you can anticipate the beats, like you can actually follow.
There we go.
You can follow all of the characters and like complete the level by listening. It's so
Exactly.
good. And
Right.
towards the end too, especially after you've done like 3 or 4 or 5 levels in a row, you get to this part here where there's 3 and 2.
Right.
And it's
So
just a straight like a drum
Right.
roll,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
then you get that one shot. And then I applaud the audio designers, because when you get that last one, it echoes.
Mhm.
Like impact. You're like, I got him. And
Yep.
then there's a pause, and then you go again.
But you don't have time to rest in victory.
Right? Yeah, you take a
Yep.
breath because you know they're coming again. It's oh man, it's such a great game.
Isn't
Yeah,
that
and you know
great though? That there's no
what's
mute,
great
though,
about this?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, bud.
No, I was gonna say, isn't it great though? At the time, like Atari really couldn't handle music, but they figured out a way to have that
Yes.
to have that sound,
Yeah.
have that soundtrack. I mean, they fully utilize the hardware. No, that too, Chris. I was gonna say it's great. I like that you picked the console version over the arcade. Like that has more meaning to you. That was like the most
Yes.
exciting game to get home. I mean, those are good memories, and that's that's what we asked that question because like me and Rich can like totally relate. So that's an awesome
Great.
story. That's
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Yep. Yeah, and this one, I mean, eventually I will tell the saga of this. I think I don't know. I might have.
you've told it on every
I did. Yeah.
Yes. About like the score level, like the looping scores, and yeah.
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 The challenge from my uncle. Yeah. I mean, it's just this game has like history for me and the family, and it's like it's just man, always a good time.
Well, and also with Atari's birthday coming up,
Yeah.
this is the game that actually gave Atari a name. I don't know if any of you guys know that, but Atari was on the shelves since '77, and they were kind of doing all right. But when they got this was the very first killer app for any technology, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Once this game came out, you couldn't find an Atari 2600 in the store.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's got a legacy more than just us and our memories. It's such it's a beautiful piece of art. It really is.
Agreed.
Lloyd says it was Scramble for the Valtrex.
The
Any of y'all
Vectrex.
familiar with that?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh God, yeah. Scramble
awesome.
on the Vectrex is awesome.
I may need to find that now.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Oh man, seeing this is just like I gotta plug in the Retron and fire this up.
Yeah. My Retron's always plugged in, buddy.
What's interesting that I noticed too with this version of Space Invaders, whenever they do collection, with the 2600 version of Space Invaders, what I find to be interesting is I guess whoever owns the licensing, like it's one that's always like left out, like on the Switch collection, like they have one like from like the Spectrum or even like on the flashback models, like this game isn't there. I mean, you can load it into a ROM, but it must be something with the licensing. Like only this version they'll include.
Oh, exactly. No, that's exactly what it is, and that's why you didn't see the Atari Pac-Man on anything until recently. And I can't remember what it's on now, but recently something came out that actually had the Atari Pac-Man. Oh, you know what? It might have been that little micro TV and console combo.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember what it is, but yeah, because of licensing, because of who owns it, Atari lost the rights to it years and years ago.
Oh,
that's why you'll never see this version on anything unless they make a deal with them again.
I mean, well, the good news is they've got they've got some liquidity coming in now, so you never know. I mean, and I would love that to happen. Like stick that as a one-off purchase on the new VCS. Put that on there on that store, and then once they hold it, if they can print it again, I mean, Atari Collection 3 would be calling my name at that point.
Oh heck yeah!
because they, I know it's Taito. Like they'd have to go through Taito to get the license back,
Yep.
of course. But it would be cool. That would be. I would line up to play.
Good. So, hey, Rich, we have a
Uh-oh.
breaking
Breaking news. You've been
breaking news. So I got to get rid of that. So yeah, Chris is about to find out what. So yeah, so I've been summoned, and you'll see exactly what that means.
Would you kill this thing?
So because you're probably like, what the hell is so? Just in one of my videos, like when I was like, welcome to the Every Kid Effect, I'm RetroKillDashNine. I just started to do that, and because Ian Hobbies loved it so much, and because it annoyed Pete so much, that it just stuck.
It's true.
Yes,
It's very
yes.
true. It's
And so-
100% true.
And so whether it's on Evercast or whether it's here, usually Ian Hobbies will do that. And so I just decided just to, I don't know. I used to do it live, but I just decided to change it up and just make that for the fun of it.
But also welcome Ian. It's the other cool thing about Ian is he is in Spain, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
It is now, what is it? I was close to 3:00 in the morning there. But
Yes.
I guess like through his job, he works
Wow.
the overnight shift or whatever.
Oh, okay.
So he's awake, like in Spain at 3:00 in the morning watching us, which is awesome.
Yes.
He's awesome. I love when he comes by and says hi.
Is this Vectrex? I think I found it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, with a fake overlay on it. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
kind of cool. It's kind of like a scrolling defender, or I don't know.
Kind of, yeah. There was actually a whole series of games like this for a while. It was a genre of game. I forget what they call it now, but almost like when Space Invaders came out, there was 100 clones. When this came out, it was really popular. I can't remember the name of the other version. I want to say there's a Cobra game. Cobra something or other on the Atari 2600.
God.
That's just like this. Oh, man, what is it called? It's a Parker Brothers
Nice.
game. I'm going to look it up now.
Yeah, Ian says hello. Oh. Hi,
Oh,
Rigatoni.
hey. What's up, Rigatoni?
He thinks it's funny. Yep, Spain. And yes, it's 344.
344.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, so
He's awesome.
so the funny thing with Rigatoni, whether or not he's like really Italian, I always say that. I'm like, I'm Italian, so I can say that. So, yeah, I always go like Rigatoni. Yeah. It's kind of
Super Cobra. Sorry.
Oh, Super Cobra. Okay.
Super Cobra on the Atari 2600 is basically the same idea.
Ooh.
Nice. And there's an Intellivision release on that too.
Uh-huh.
Oh, hey,
Oh,
Rich.
yeah, that's right.
It's a Parker Brothers game.
Look
Yep.
at Brian's. There's an interesting version of Space Invaders on Game Gear. You travel to different systems and take on aliens abode and slowly destroy it. You just try to kidnap cows and save.
Oh, that's
Interesting.
awesome.
There's a version of that on the Turbo Graphics I used to play all the time when I had it emulated here. You got
Nice.
to protect the cows in one level. It is the most insane stuff.
That's awesome.
So we found it.
Now I've got to go in and look at that Game Gear version of Space Invaders.
Oh yeah, and Rigatoni,
Yeah.
of course, says hi to you, Chris.
'Cause I've been dipping into the world
Right.
of Game Gear.
Oh, I love how you
Oh,
made that.
man. It's a great system. I just hate the
Yeah.
screen on it. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, and I've been using my Retron 5 because the 3-in-1
Good.
adapter plays Game Gear, so I just like, oh well, it's like basically more Master System games. So
Or
it's
get
just
a modded one like Pete. He got one that's like all like
Yeah,
recapped and
you get the IPS screen, the recap.
Yeah.
That was
I got to do that to my Atari Lynx. I got to replace the screen and 2 capacitors.
Yeah,
I just haven't gotten around to it.
yeah, those
Dude,
are
make a
pretty
video.
cool.
If you,
Oh yeah,
Oh, of course I
absolutely.
will.
yeah.
If you do that project, that's awesome.
And,
I've seen a few
again,
people do it.
tech issues. And again, with tech things, if there's an issue, it just stays.
Nice.
One time I cut myself working on an NES. I just bled all over and just let it keep going.
Oh wow.
I'm like, all right, we're going to, and I'm squirting my finger because I cut myself on the metal shielding. Here I am getting tetanus. My jaw's locking up. I'm just like, and, you open the screen and the thing with the stuff.
Oh man. He suffers
That's
for his
crazy.
art. No,
That's
but
crazy.
that's great.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh, no.
But what's cool though about modding the links is, yeah, like you're saying, like you remove a few capacitors, it's no longer needed, and it's supposed to extend the battery life, and then you just have to like solder one wire if you want to like go through the different options, and
Yeah.
So, so what do you guys think? You want to? Should we stick on the Atari train?
Oh, well, actually, Lloyd has a quick question for Chris. Yeah.
What's the question? I can't see it.
He says, so he says, do you own a VCS?
Oh, I pseudo own a VCS. I do have one that needs 2 parts.
Yes.
Used to belong to somebody we know here.
Maybe. Just maybe.
Just maybe.
Yeah, and the interestingly enough, I might have found one of those parts today.
Oh, nice.
I might have to hit an envelope and or box.
Okay.
We could talk offline about that.
All right. Well, I was actually thinking next weekend about going to get one of those parts, so we'll discuss later which one's which, so they don't cross the camera.
Which ones?
Nice. So I guess the answer is yes, and hopefully soon it'll be working and run.
Yeah.
I even got an Xbox controller. I think it was $4 I got it at the thrift store. Yeah. Oh no.
Nice.
$199.
$199. That's awesome.
And it powers up. It powers up and everything. I don't know if it works or anything. And I bought a kit to replace the buttons and everything from Thomson.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if they're a company that is known in this customizing thing.
Yeah.
But I got this ready for it because this will link up to the VCS, right?
Oh yeah, it'll see it right away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. We'll be doing it here pretty soon. I've just been dragging my feet.
Nice.
Yeah, it'll actually recognize it as a modern controller first.
Okay.
But then when you go into games, if the game supports the Xbox One or 360 gamepad, it'll switch.
360.
You'll actually see it. You'll actually see a bar on the very top of the screen that says, like it'll say, then instead of modern controller connected, it'll
say Xbox.
Just say Xbox controller connected.
Okay.
So yeah, it's kind of cool.
Rad.
Yeah, it's pretty neat the way that they've designed the firmware on this thing. So very cool.
It's
very
funny.
cool.
It's like, what isn't the Xbox controller compatible? You could probably pair it with like an old phone or something.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah, no, Microsoft's been they did a really good job with like compatibility on that thing.
Yeah.
It's obviously that you can use it on PC, but but almost any flavor of any operating system, you just plug it in and somehow there's a driver for it.
Yeah.
It's pretty nuts. So so yeah, what are we thinking? What are we thinking about?
We can go to the first topic.
Yeah, let's do the modern topics. All right, so this is another one. I'm gonna bring it to you, Ed, to set up because it is your topic. But the question is, are AAA games or modern consoles overrated? And if so, why? So
except PlayStation.
Except PlayStation. That's right.
Yeah. So okay. So I can kind of dive into this because the thing that came to mind. So if you go back in time, like when the Super Nintendo, I think is a perfect example.
Right.
I want to say, unless for those of you who are watching who aren't too young, or actually even take a step back further, where you saw like the Atari, and then you saw Pitfall, and you're like, okay, cool. There's a character on the screen. Like this shouldn't exist, but it does. And then you saw like Mario, and that blew you. Like you could see an upgrade. And then when Super Nintendo came out, like that was mind blowing. Like you could truly see it was an upgrade compared to like, let's say a PS4 and a PS5. It's like there's not, my opinion, like there's not much difference except maybe you get like some faster loading times, but like the graphics. So that's what I mean. It's like with modern consoles, it's like you don't have that mind blowing experience, and maybe where technology is, we're not going to have that.
Right, and you know what else too? I'm glad you mentioned that because this kind of falls right in line with that. When I was growing up, I'm 47 years old. If anyone needs to know, so I'm putting the early Atari stuff, and then moving forward, all the way up until I'm going to say PlayStation 2 with the original Xbox. If I walked into a friend's home and there was a game on the screen that was ported all around, I could tell you without even looking at the console what the game was. I mean, what system it was. I could tell you, oh, this is a Super Nintendo game. this is a Genesis game because every console had its own flavor, its own feel, its own sound style. I mean, think of Super Nintendo versus Sega Genesis. Genesis had that real tinny, whereas Super Nintendo sampled real music and used it in a sequencing kind of situation. That's the part I miss about gaming. It all just seems gray and the same to me. Everything, with the exception of the Switch. A lot of the Switch games seem to have that feel and flavor of the old stuff, but while bringing it a little bit modern. So I can appreciate that as far as it's concerned, but as far as a AAA game, it just looks like the same old. And again, I know it's my age. I'm not dumb. But just there's no individual charm to it. To me, it doesn't matter whether it's a PlayStation or an Xbox because I don't have brand loyalty. I would probably go PlayStation because that's where I stopped. But there's just no, for a guy like me, incentive to pick one or the other because to me it's the same thing unless there's an exclusive title to one or the other that I really like to play. I think they're overrated.
But you may have tapped into something that I think subconsciously I didn't realize that the older games, they do have their own pixel art style, and like newer games, they all have that same look where they're trying to look like too realistic. Like the new Final Fantasies, like that's something for me that I don't even recognize it. Maybe like the modern ones because I'm like like I'm like Cloud isn't supposed to jump into a Ferrari. I don't know, maybe it's like the old man in me, like but yeah, that's true. Like you could tell like the arcade games, they had their own look, and you could tell like the color palettes. Because funny that you mentioned that, because for me, I know like a lot of like Mortal Kombat, for example. I know like for some of my friends, they liked Mortal Kombat for the Genesis because of the blood, but for me, I to your point, like I like the Super Nintendo version because they got the color palettes, they got the music, they got like the little, they got the little, like all the little details. They just didn't have the blood. But the funny thing, that kind of sneaky, that Nintendo tried to pull, they like, we don't have blood, but it was just as violent because like Sub-Zero, his like smashing somebody into like a million pieces. There weren't any blood, but it's like guts flying everywhere. So it was still cool. Sub-Zero, I mean Scorpion like torching somebody, no blood, but it was still. Yeah, so it captured the essence, and for me, that's why I liked Super Nintendo better for ports, because I felt like it captured the essence, especially Street Fighter 2. But no, you bring up a good point, because like I played like MMOs to death, and so I feel like a lot of modern games are kind of like, hey, watch our tutorial for like 20 minutes, go collect that thing, go do this thing, rinse and repeat. I mean, for those who enjoy it, it's nice, but there's no charm, there's no individual graphics. They all kind of look. I didn't think about this. Yeah,
And I'm sure to the educated on those consoles, so to speak, that they can distinguish certain things. And I'm sure each developer has their flavor. So I don't want to take away from that. So I know, developer A probably has a style that they can recognize, something like that. But yeah, just the two consoles to me just going side by side, I couldn't tell you which one's which.
So Rigatoni, give us an example, because he says he likes AAA games that usually have a polish or quality check to them.
Right.
So,
I can respect that 100%.
Yeah.
I wish I could play some of these games.
Yeah. I can give an example of a developer in the AAA category that does that, almost to a T every time, and that's Naughty Dog.
Okay.
So when you're playing a Naughty Dog game, you're playing a Naughty Dog game because it just,
you're a Naughty Dog now.
Right. I mean, you just feel it, right? The way that they present their story is, in all of their titles, very cinematic, and they built on all of their building blocks from PlayStation 2. I mean, you really from PlayStation 1 on, they were the developers of, they did Crash Bandicoot.
Okay. Thank you.
And then they did, then they did Jak and Daxter, and then after Jak and Daxter, they did Uncharted, and then Last of Us. But it was really that PS3 generation when they started doing the Uncharted series. They obviously came into their own, but those games, there's a reason why, in my opinion, as far as that generation and up, why that particular series is my favorite series of all of those games in that generation. And it's because they were able to deliver on the thing that the young me, when I played Super Nintendo, when I played early PlayStation, looking at some of this stuff, going, man, there's going to be a day we're going to play a game and it's going to feel so real. It's going to look like a movie and it's going to play like we're in a movie. Right. And then I played Uncharted 3 and it was like delivered. Little kid dream delivered. Here you are literally an action hero star in a Indiana Jones like setting playing you were Indiana Jones. And it's like just delivers on that promise, right?
Yeah, when you showed what was it, like that the PS3 when you showed that video, I was impressed. See that kind of very Resident Evil like for in a way. It kind of reminded like it had like a really good story. So yeah, I can get. But see, for me though, so like I'm kind of torn. I want to get to people's comments, but I'm kind of torn because for me though, like when something gets to be a movie, like I would rather watch a good show or movie because I just want to like turn my brain off and like not have to think. So it's kind of like that balance.
Right. So I guess in essence, to answer the question, are AAA games or modern consoles overrated? Possibly is the answer, but there's obvious exceptions, right?
Yeah,
right.
When the company can deliver an experience that transcends the stuff that you would have gotten in that early generation in the Super Nintendo, in the PlayStation, early Xbox generation. Once you get an experience that takes it up and beyond that, then it transcends overrating. Like it's not like you're into a new genre now.
Okay.
Are AAA games or modern consoles getting a little more tired? Yeah. Yes, I can say in that sense, possibly, because there's a lot of developers that are making great games, like really good games, that don't have that edge anymore. So you see a lot of, in my opinion, like a first-person shooter, for example, right? Any first-person shooter, and there might be people flaming me in the comments right now, but
they are
any first-person shooter today, I can play any one of them, and yes, they might feel a little different. This one's in space, this one's in war, this one's in blah blah blah. But it's like, the systems have developed themselves into a way where you play one and you play the next one, and they feel almost the same. Okay. Again, with some minor exceptions.
Yeah.
Bungie is the exception, in my opinion. The 3 Bungie Halo games and Destiny, they don't feel like anything else in a first-person shooter genre. But if you play Call of Duty and then play Battlefield, or you play any other, kind of also ran first-person shooter like war game, they're all going to feel very similar in that sense.
Yes.
So I think to me it's like more that, we're reaching that point where something else has to give in order for AAA and modern consoles to like just really have that cultural impact again. Because it's just like we're kind of churning at this point. Now, don't get me wrong.
Yeah. So that's what PJ. Yeah. So you must see PJ Smith's comment like this, and like, they like AAA sports, but they notice improvements from year to year. And so funny too, Rich, that you mentioned that with Call of Duty, because that's another issue that I have with something like, because I used to, play, be into Call of Duty, and they have the same thing as the sports games, is that they want you to like rebuy the game every year. Yeah. And to your point, it's like it's skinned a little bit different, and you have to just like spend all that time to get unlocks and do everything. It'd be nice if they just have like, if you're going to make a living online game, have it just be one game, but they want people to rebuy everything.
Right.
So it's like.
Yeah, I mean, and don't tell me it's not possible, because I got 4 words for you, and the 4 words are Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah.
Those are the 4 words.
Let's see
this
what else.
Who that?
That has lasted 3 generations.
Yeah,
and it's
it really has.
Still breaking. It's bringing in the money. I just did a news line like 3 or 4 weeks ago, I've gotten access to some stuff that's actually like I don't know, you call it journalism-y or whatever, like a news site that I can log into and actually get like sales information from, which is cool.
Okay.
And I read the first one because I always wanted to be I don't know why, I always wanted to be a part of a show where I could read the sales number. I don't know, I'm a geek. And I read the top 10 list in the UK because that's where this information is coming from.
Okay.
And number 7 on that list was freaking Grand Theft Auto, and I'm like, how is this game selling still? It's still selling, and it's like I just don't get it, like, but
it's crazy,
I mean,
right? Well, see, here's the other thing too. Kind of why I chose this comment. Like, if you notice, like, if you can get if you can get one of your kids like hooked, like when they're little, like for example, like, before like my daughter discovered like mobile phones and games, she would like to watch like retro and indie games, and then when she like had her own phone, she was like, yeah, I'm not into the old man games anymore. And I've been,
shoot.
and I've been told as much. But my point is though is that like I feel like sometimes as a society we're told you must get a PS5, you must get the latest Xbox, because that's what people are exposed to, versus if you saw those older games, it's like, yes, the graphics aren't going to be all flashy, but like something like Space Invaders is a great example. If you can like look past that, you can just see it's a game that you can just jump in, jump out. It's good times. It's no commitment. Oh, hey, pizza's high. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's just,
Is that Pete?
Yeah,
yes.
Pete, yeah.
Pack Open Pro?
Pack Open Pro.
What's up, brother?
Yeah. It's
Miss you, man.
It's good to be hanging out. We hang out every Saturday on the Evercast. And shoot the stuff. I mean, so like that's what we definitely got to get you on there one day.
The Evercast I tend to miss because I'm at work. So, and then knowing my brain, it's just out of mind, out of sight.
It's all good. It's all good.
Punch drunk.
But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a cool topic because you think about what's going to happen next, right? Because it's there. I mean, obviously the companies aren't going to stop, but every time that there's a new generation, you get the same people that are writing the same articles. It's like, well, is this the last generation? Is there going to be no more consoles after PS6 and Xbox, whatever they call it? I mean, I don't know is the answer. I mean, no one really knows. The market really determines, right? Like they put it out and it sells, then it keeps going. And they put it out and then finally people stop buying it, and then that's the end. But to the very first point that was being made, there's so much in parity now. Like you cannot see a trailer for a game and know that game is going to come out on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Right.
Or in some cases even Nintendo, and you're like, well, then what's the point?
Well, usually underneath it has 50 million consoles, computers, and any other calculator that you can try to scrape out of your.
Yeah, get a thing, and it's gonna be there.
Like Rigatoni says, Skyrim was ported to like 10 systems of 3 generations.
Right. Yeah. It's
buy Grand Theft Auto for a 5th time. See, that's the other thing too. They keep doing remasters and remaking the same. I don't know. So sometimes I kind of feel about games as I do like movies. Like some movies, I feel like they use special effects just to have special effects, or they remake a movie, and you're like, well, what was wrong with the original? So it's you can like fall into that trap. So when it comes to VR and being realistic, that for me, technology either has to be something like the Star Trek holodeck or like Ready Player One, where it's like minimal, it's like minimal equipment and you're sucked into it, or like Star Trek where it's no equipment. Otherwise, it's kind of in this weird thing. Because I think as a gamer, like you don't want to be that immersive. Otherwise, you would just kind of rather go out and exercise in real life and go out into the woods. Right. I don't know. Maybe that's
no. Just plug me in like in the Matrix.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Stick a right in my skull.
I will say this though about the VR experience, and I dived into the early days. I got a PSVR headset, and I played a whole bunch of stuff, and I was like, it's okay, like I love it because it's geeky, and like a geek brain goes, I can be in a world and do all this kind of stuff, and then I played Super Hot. And whatever it was that experience, it was that game that clicked it for me. And it's like, people need to figure out how to tap into the magic of that game,
Okay.
and then improve the fidelity, because there is a fidelity issue currently. Because people actually get ill having the PSVR headset on them.
Oh, I can imagine.
The resolution of the screen is just not up to snuff. So your
brain is not liking it.
Breaking it, because you're moving in ways that the system can't keep up with, and all that kind of stuff.
That's why we need holodecks. I agree, bro.
Yes, that is why we need holodecks. But I'm telling you though that there are some experiences that kind of transcend it, and Super Hot is one of those, because the way the game works is everything is ultra pixelated. So your brain already recognizes it as, oh, this is not real. So when you bend or move in the actual 3D space, your brain's like, well, I'm going to let you do that because this is so unrealistic that you can kind of just believe that you can fall or move or whatever, and it's not breaking your equilibrium.
Is it fair to say it's super hot?
Yes, yeah. But also the cool thing is the way the game works. I don't know. Have you guys ever played Super Hot?
No, I'm trying to find.
Never even heard of it.
All right, so it's a first-person shooter.
But that's why I haven't heard of it.
But the hook is nothing happens until you move, and the second you move, you can move your hand, you can move your head. The second you move, time moves. Time actually actions at your motion.
Okay,
but if you stop moving, everything stops, including if you're looking at a character that's shooting a gun at you.
Really?
The bullets stop when you stop moving. Yes.
Interesting.
It is like a weird experience, but the cool thing is when you're doing these like puzzly levels, it's basically like playing the Matrix. Like you're like able to like dodge and do like bullet time dodges of bullets that would like fly by your head. And when you have your headphones on, you can actually it's got spatial audio, so it'll like show you how like the the bullets you can actually hear it go past. It's so and in VR, like you're in this room, you're in the everywhere you're in the space. So you can believe that you're there, and oh man, they just like chef's
right
kisses.
on.
It's super cool.
I've been interested in VR for a while now. I mean, since I was a kid, actually. I mean, they played around with it quite a bit when we were younger, but I've been interested in it. I just don't know how well I would do with it. I'm going to be one of those idiots on TikTok walking through his TV and stuff.
Yeah,
that made me a little dizzy though. That's why.
Yeah.
So it does take some getting used to.
And, get your VR legs or whatever you want to call it.
Your VR legs.
Games. Yeah, lots of games could get you.
The
for
SSVR.
Yeah. So, but anyway, that was cool. That was a good. That's good discussion. Good
discussion. Yes, it was.
All right, cool. So let's keep it rolling. We've got an anniversary coming up.
We do.
And that's Atari's 50th anniversary.
Yeah, I didn't mean to mention it earlier. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you did. We got all sorts of foreshadowing here. So in that sense, there's going to be an announcement on the 27th. And they're alluding to some big stuff. So the question is, what would we want to see announced by Atari on its 50th anniversary?
Interesting question. I haven't really had my ear to the ground when it comes to the VCS for the past month or so because I've been too busy. I wonder if it's just not another piece of hardware that they're probably going to be selling.
Yeah, I think that
maybe not another big thing like the VCS, but
right. Like maybe that'd be cool if there was like an accessory for it, like a controller
or maybe a gold 50th anniversary console.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool.
With the stamp in the front or something like that. I don't know.
A
Yeah.
new mini console with like 2650. Like I have like all three.
Right.
All through the consoles.
Oh yeah. That'd be kind of neat.
Oh,
Like the best
yeah.
games.
I mean, if they were gonna go the controller or accessory route for VCS, my instant wish
Here we
list
go.
item would be a trackball spinner controller.
Ooh.
Oh, that is a good one, though. I thought you were going to talk about a cart port.
Oh man!
Oh wow.
How cool would that be? Like a little cart port on the side?
like the Pi reader. And
Yeah.
like they don't call it Pi Packer anymore. It's what is it? Jam.gg or whatever it is
Mm.
Oh.
now. But I backed that actually.
Oh, no
There was
kidding.
hardware readers where you could plug in NES, Genesis, and like that kind of stuff into your computer, and it would
Oh, I
read
didn't know that.
dump the ROM for you
Okay.
and load it into your account online, so you could play. It's kind of like a Antstream, only it's
Oh,
like
yeah,
you
okay.
can bring your own games to this service, which was kind of neat. But yeah, man, if they had like an Atari reader that you could just plug into your Atari VCS, and they had like the 3 ports. Well, you only need 2, but it was like a 7800, 2600 port, and then a 5200 port. And you put it in, it would just dump the ROM on there for you. Oh man.
Yeah. Maybe even the links small enough.
Oh yeah, links too. Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I think
You
Lloyd is
remember the
hoping
links-
for some exclusive VCS games.
Yeah,
Right.
that'd be very cool. Oh, hopefully some exclusive VCS games. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Mhm.
I mean, I know for a fact because it was dropped unwillingly maybe by the audio artist Megan McDuffie in an interview that the Brutally Honest Gamer, what does he call himself now? It's BHG Media Group. He did an interview with her 3 weeks ago, and she dropped the existence of more recharge games. So they are happening. It's not like they're not, like maybe. She admitted on the interview that she was actually rapping soundtrack on unspecified titles, but she said there were titles, so there's
Nice.
more than one.
Nice.
So that's exciting. I would love to see. I mean, obviously, if you got it in the can, start announcing. Let's go. I mean,
Yeah.
that'd be some supreme announcements right there. I'd be very happy to see that.
Do you think though, if they did like come up with the latest like flashback, would that be a conflict of interest with VCSs? Are they still making VCSs?
I mean, I know they're still producing them because they're replenishing stock. Like they start showing up now. I think some of the retail relationships, some of the retail relationships started to die out. That's the reason why you saw.
Let me rephrase. Are they still making Gen 1 VCSs? Because sometimes like they may like once they sell the stock, are they working on like a Gen 2? I don't. Maybe it might be something like better specs. Maybe once they sell, like how they do with all products. So if they're going to do that, maybe it might not be in their best interest to release a flashback because they'd rather you buy the VCS.
That could be something very interesting. I mean, who knows? No one knows actual sales numbers for the console. Atari hasn't come out and said anything like that. Having maybe like a bat pack, pat yourself on the back kind of celebration. Like, hey, we got the VCS out during the pandemic and it's sold, and we're selling these things out. We've sold X. Where X is a respectable number. That'd be kind of cool to see in this kind of announcement, right?
Here's what would blow my mind. What if they would finally give us like an updated, and I say like a Lynx Mini, like not too tiny like the Game Gear that's unplayable, but like a smaller version, and have it with like 20 like the best built-in games.
That would be amazing.
And have it be like $100. Like I'd be like sold. Or under.
Yeah, I mean, and if it was if it was anything that wasn't Songbird, right? Then you wouldn't have to worry about like buying things twice, right?
Yes.
If they put all the Lynx games that Songbird didn't have the rights to, right? You still get your Lynx 3 on Evercade, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Because that's all. Obviously, there's more Songbird games that they could put out, so that you're gonna get that, and then all your non-Songbird stuff you put on a little portable. That's neat. Yeah.
Is there a third Lynx cart for the Evercade?
Not
Not yet.
not yet.
Not
or
yet.
announced,
Okay.
Or even, I mean, it's speculation.
Okay.
But-
'Cause that's the whole
but there's-
reason I even got into the Evercade.
Yeah, there's a lot more,
Okay.
and the company that Blaze have been working with is Songbird, because they've been doing all the legwork for the newer versions of the Lynx ROMs.
Mhm.
So, oh man,
Yeah.
that'd be a huge drop.
Jaguar.
What-
Yeah.
a
I was
huge
just
drop.
saying that too.
If they announced Jaguar games on the VCS, I'm doing cartwheels. Because I always wanted a Jag, and I had an opportunity like a long time ago to pick one up, and I was like, yeah, well, all right, well, I'll get one because they're cheap. No one's ever gonna want
Right?
these.
Yeah.
Right?
And here we are, 2022. They're $500. You're like,
Yeah.
You know what they need to do if they do that? Because like there's a lot of cool like aftermarket and like homebrew games that are only
Yeah.
like for the Jaguar that I know like for most of us we'll never get to play. So it'd be neat if they put like a lot of those homebrew games on there.
yeah,
Yeah, that'd be
throw
cool too.
them up on the store.
Or how about a
like,
Jaguar Mini?
I was gonna say, or at least give us the option,
right?
Yeah.
Or
A Jaguar Mini would be amazing.
That'd be
Yes.
cool.
Yes.
I got
You could
a
do-
Jaguar confession to make.
Oh, okay.
I have not played the Jaguar since 1994.
Wow.
That was the last time I had an actual working one in front of me.
Wow. That's a while.
Yep.
I don't think I've ever known a friend that had it. I think I've only actually played it maybe like in the stores, to be
One.
honest.
I have one friend who to this day is probably still a diehard Atari guy.
Nice.
I remember when
He's
they were
a-
like $50, and same with like the Virtual Boys. So those are like $50 at Walmart. And I remember being kids and we all like snuffed it. Like, no, I'd rather have a Super Nintendo. I don't want Atari.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The name was real tainted by then.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, that's a shame though, because it's like, man, I wish I had been in the mind of like pulling the trigger on one of those, because because it wasn't one of those things that I wanted to eschew. It was just like there were other things that are on my goal list that I would rather get right now, but I always wanted one of those, and it's like,
Yeah.
man. So,
Yeah.
but the cool thing is though, I am near enough of them that if I wanted to, I could go to a place right now and play Jaguar games.
Nice.
Because the local arcade, the Yestercades in Somerville, where it's like, kind of down the street from where I live, they've got a section where it's all this whole wall of televisions. You got like 4 or 5
Nice.
70 screens, and attached to them is all these different sets of consoles. They've got 3 Jags, and I don't know, probably a good 50 to 60% of the library.
Nice.
Like you just have to go up to the counter and go, I want to play X, and then they give you like they'll come out with the cart and put it on there. Some of them are.
Yep.
Some of those carts are a little pricey, but
Right.
but
That's cool.
Yeah, it's awesome to be just really like, oh, I want to play some Jag.
Yeah, we had a place like that in Arizona when I was still out there in Tempe called the Gaming Zone. I can't remember what the crossroads were, but that was the first time I ever saw a game lounge. TVs all around, and it was like going to a pool hall by the hour.
Mm-hmm.
They used to let us do retro nights. That's where like my Arizona gaming crew all just used to hang out. We had like carte blanche there. We used to go in there all the time and use it, but
Oh, cool.
that's such an amazing concept. I don't know why more places don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with the older stuff, like you were saying, with the Jaguar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People can get exposed to that. It'd be really cool.
Yeah, because Chris said they're stupid expensive to collect.
Yeah, very, very.
But you know what, though?
They are.
If you get a flash cart, like haven't they ported over like a lot of like what is that? It's the Atari computer, like the ST. There's an Atari ST.
Well,
like
there's the 4-800, the ST line.
the ST. Yeah, I think they've ported over like a lot of those games. Like the community has ported over those games to the Jaguar. It'll run on Jaguar hardware. So if you have like a flash cart, yeah.
No kidding.
Trying to think, because I know like John Hancock, he's done like a few of those videos and shown some of those fun games. So yeah, it seems like one of those systems where it is expensive, but if you had a flash cart, it would probably be worth it enough where you could find like a bunch of cool, games and like aftermarket games to just like toss on there. But yeah.
Yeah.
So, Lloyd or Jim was saying, not Atari, but I can't wait for Unsung Heroes game to be completed. The prologue was a blast to play on the VCS. Yeah, they're still working on it, Lloyd. I don't know if you follow anything from that developer. It's a really cool game that's actually on the VCS store right now. You can get the free demo or whatever. It was a Kickstarter game that got successfully funded. I actually backed it, but it looks like they're still a little bit behind in development because everything's behind nowadays.
Of course,
you get delays everywhere. Teams are running into all sorts of different issues and like that kind of stuff. Such as life in the 2022s. But it looks like they're according to their update, it was about 18 days ago. They're looking for a full game release scheduled for 2023. So it'll still be a little bit before you see that. But right before the end of the year, according to this update, we should be seeing some kind of demo for those that are backed. Oh, sweet! You got your name on the wall in the cave. That's cool. That was one of those backer bonuses.
Okay.
Right on.
Oh, neat. I was like in a cave. What? Sorry, I was thinking in the literal sense.
Yeah. I forget which one. I don't know what level I backed it at. But I did. I think I just backed I just want the game.
Oh, I think Chris answered when he's. Yes, it's at Handheld King. What was that we were talking about mods, or what were we talking about?
Oh no, I think he said maybe the comment about the Jaguar CD being even more expensive than the
yeah, you can't find a working one. That's why.
No.
Yeah.
Even when my friend got it new, it was garbage.
Yeah. One of those systems.
Sad. It took us 2 or 3 times to try to play Night Trap. It was crazy.
Oh yeah, I forgot they did a Night Trap port for that.
Yeah, they did.
So yeah. Oh, I guess I'm gonna be in the cavern of names.
That's awesome, man.
That's right.
Yeah, I just looked at my pledge. I just I want the game. My pledge level was beta access, credits in the final game, and then a digital copy, obviously, of the game itself, and then in the prologues, cavern of names. I can be in there.
Oh, looks like he has his name on the wall too.
Yeah, he was my scoop for Unsung Warriors. It was before I got my VCS. He started playing, and he did that video on it, and I was like, oh man, I gotta check this out when I get my VCS. And sure enough, I did my Fun for 5 on it. And I'm like, this game's awesome. And it was right before the Kickstarter closed. I'm like, all right, I'm throwing down. I'm in. Let's do this. But yeah, I mean that'd be kind of cool to see any of those kind of things on this anniversary celebration.
Yeah.
I guess it's a stream or a video, or it's like they said they're going to put it out everywhere. It's YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all sorts of stuff. They're going to be announcing stuff all day. What I would really like to see is also maybe them reaching out to some of those key creators, because they're still around. Gary and Dan Kitchen, although they might be still bad in Activision / Atari bad blood, I guess, maybe. And was this who was the other member of that team that are doing the was it David Crane?
David Crane
over at Audacity Games. I mean, why not have a release of Casey's Gold on Atari VCS?
Yes.
Why not, right? That could be kind of cool if they were running into trouble funding it. Hey, we've partnered with these guys, we want to make it happen for you. Put something out like that. There's rumors. I saw rumors on Facebook from the man himself that Howard Scott Warshaw said he was teasing some kind of project that he was working on, and it was Atari related. Yeah, it was 6 to 7 months ago. It was like a month or two after he put his book out. People had gotten his book. I bought a copy, and he was out on social media talking to, obviously promoting the book. But somebody asked him, was like, hey, you ever want to get back behind the old code and keyboard and go and do stuff? And his answer was, as a matter of fact, I might be working on something right now, but I can't talk about it.
I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, really? I'll play another one of your games. I mean, they were awesome. All of
Oh,
them.
hell yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that would be a huge drop. They go, hey, that could be like their one more thing, right? They dropped the news about recharge. If in the realm of real, right?
Right.
Obviously, the recharge are coming, so they dropped something about recharge. They dropped something about maybe a piece of hardware that's outside of the VCS realm that gets the Atari brand name out there a little more. They talk about some new projects maybe we don't know about, and then right at the end they're like, "Oh well, we got one more thing," and then Warshaw comes out. And it's like, boom,
right?
Here's your game.
Warshaw's Revenge.
Yeah.
See, what I hope they do, and I know some people might think that this cheapens it, but let's say his latest game, right? Like, I think maybe like it should come out for the VS first, but I also want it to come out for like Steam and like all the other consoles or something like PS4, because for me, like, I know like you could, let's say, buy the ROMs, but for me, like, that's like too much work. Like, I don't want to load it up on my PC. I just want to like play it on a console. So it'd be nice to be ported to like everything, because I think Switch, whatever, because I think there's a market. It's like, let me just like play and like load it up, and that way people who want the collectors and the physical copies can get it. Oh, is that not? I don't. Let me see. It's a Garbage Pail Kid. I don't know. Is that? It's actually not the. It's Clark. No, it's Clark Kent.
Clark Kent.
Yes.
Oh man,
it's one of those crazy. I want to say like maybe 10 or more years ago. I get my wife like saw this like at Walmart for under like $10. It's like one of those like crazy weird.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Right.
Not that maybe unless that's his twin. I don't know. I know they have twins, but yeah, I forgot Clark Kent.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So yeah, I mean, we won't know. We won't know what happens. It is next week, so we might have to revisit this topic.
Yes.
And I don't know what we're gonna do for the next time we're in calling all retro gamers.
You know what, Rich? I wonder. You gave me an idea. So because everything always cycles back to Evercade. It has to.
Yeah.
So it's funny because they haven't announced their next two carts. We suspect like Link's Collection 3. I wonder if they're announcing some big thing. Maybe Blaze is holding off.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe it'll be like multiple things. Maybe what if we did get like a recharge cart or something else? I don't know.
That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, they still have yet to announce those two final carts. So, but yeah, who knows? Who knows? So, so I think that's a good place to end that topic and get into.
Okay. Oh.
But before we forget though, so like real because we don't want to forget to do this real quick, Chris. You saw like our intro, like the calling all retro gamers, and then we have like different gamers and people.
Yes.
If you could, if we could just put you sitting on the screen, and then you could give us just a calling all retro gamer, because the idea is we want to update and add like more.
Okay. Calling all retro gamers?
Yep.
Make him just on the screen by himself. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're going to solo you, give us a calling all retro gamers, we'll come right back.
Rock and roll.
All right, ready?
Calling all retro gamers.
I love it.
Nice. Excellent. Thank you.
I love it. And they even use the expression afterwards. I love I love that how you put up your fist.
That's totally good. That's totally good.
Yeah.
No,
No, I didn't know. I know we're over time. I'm like, before either we go to closing thoughts or if we go to another topic, I'm like, because we had like Mike Tendo on it, like we forgot to ask him. And I know people can send it after the fact, but it's like one of those things you can just like forget.
Yeah, that's right. So, but that's good. We got you in there. Hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Awesome grits,
huh?
Okay.
All right.
A new challenger.
What's up? Welcome on in.
Awesome
but yeah, so I guess we can get into like final thoughts, closings, like that kind of thing. This is usually the place where we say, hey, you got something to plug, like a new video coming out or new project you're working on or whatever. This is the place to do that. So anyone want to go in there? Because I know I got something at the end here.
Why don't you go, Chris? Why don't you tell us
I'll
what's
go.
next on your channel? What are we going to see?
You know what? I'm not even going to plug my channel. I'm pretty sure most people know my channel. And, you know, the Atari Creep, you'll find me anywhere if you just search those two words together. But there is a link in all my videos to a blog channel, or vlog, I guess you'd call it, that I'm kind of transforming into strictly a guitar customization channel. And I'm actually, believe it or not, trying to grow that one. I don't really care about the Atari Creep one. Whatever happens, there happens. I just do it for fun. But I'm trying to grow that one. I have so many projects right now, like that guitar where I did the pour. I got a Gibson Explorer mixed with a Fender Telecaster with a haunted house theme to it, stuff like that. So if anybody's interested in guitar customization, almost to a theme, almost like Orange County Choppers used to do, I'm hoping to get to that point. Like there's a theme to this guitar. It has to have these variables, you know, and then just do something custom and wacky with it. If anyone's into that kind of a thing, I would really appreciate it. You just the channel right now is called The Creepy Crawl. It shouldn't be hard to find. It'll be my face, the same as the Atari Creep one, just blown in, so you don't see the controller, because I'm lazy that way. And yeah, that's it. And other than that, on the Atari Creep channel, like I said earlier, I do plan on doing, I guess you call them commentary tracks for films that really mean a lot to me. Because, you know, believe it or not, like almost like James Rolfe, film is more my thing than actually video games are. Though I'm very passionate about video games, as you all know. But I'm more of like a film buff than I am anything else, and an artist.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Definitely,
Very cool.
definitely check that out, guys. The channel link is now in.
Oh, thank
chat.
you.
Oh, the vlog.
Thank
Okay, you
you.
found it. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. I was looking forward to it.
Yeah, I just had to go in my list and pull out the channel link.
There you go. Yeah.
So, but yeah, definitely check that out.
Please.
It's awesome. It's really, really cool. So, all right, Ed, what do you got? Something you're cooking up for next week?
Yeah, actually, my next two video I'm going to break into two parts. So, like, again, everything always circles black to blaze. I mean, that's what I do on my main channel, the Kid Effects. But they actually, Rich, you'd gone through like their AMA and you'd gotten like all their main questions, which is great because I wanted to like read through that, but not have to like sift. So, what I thought would be fun to do, I split it like into two 10-minute videos. And basically what I did is like kind of like in 10 minutes, a 10-minute challenge where I have to like talk the whole time. And then I just like go through each of like the 10 topics. So I could spend 30 seconons on one, but then I could spend another minute and a half. And so kind of like my responses to like their new handheld and their new stuff. So
Nice.
Just some fun.
Very
I
good.
broke it into two parts, so hopefully people don't get bored because you'd be rambling on too much, you know. So we'll see. We'll see if people like it. But yeah, those will be my next two videos. I pulled a crow and pre-recorded them.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. So for those that have been looking around on the Bacon Ice Cream Productions channel, have been seeing tumbleweeds pass by. That is for semi-good reasons. One, I'm an incredibly busy person for the last 2 weeks. It's just been nuts. But two, I'm actually prepping for a little trip that I'll be going on Friday to Too Many Games.
Nice.
The first time I set foot in a convention since 2019 in December, where I went to PAX Unplugged to participate in the Transformers CCG Energon Invitational, the one and only.
Wow.
Tears, the one and only Energon Invitational, where that was a great time. It was a great time, and then the world ended.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, so we're on the other side of that. We're going back into some cool stuff, and Too Many Games has been a show that I've been trying to get to for a very long time. Of course, it's got all sorts of stuff to do with retro games, arcade, game music, everything. So we're going to be there, and it's going to be me and my brother-in-law and his wife, and we're going to be bringing some cool stuff, which includes some of my Evercade handhelds. So if there are people that are wandering around, they've never touched or set foot in the Evercade world, I will be your guide over at Too Many Games.
Oh, that's so rad, man.
Up to me and just be like, hey, you know what? I remember your face on that thing. Aren't you the guy that does the Evercade stuff? I'm like, yes, actually, as a matter of fact, here's an Evercade. You want to play some in television? You want to play some indie heroes? Here you go.
Are you going to film the reaction live?
Hang out? Yes, absolutely.
Heck yeah.
If you want to be
That'll
on
be fun.
there and you want to
That'll be
talk
a lot of
about cool Evercade stuff, and then what might happen is I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. So mileage may vary, but these things right here may be given to you as a business card that represents our channel.
Oh, you got those
Rad.
made. Very
Here,
cool,
I'll take
dude.
it.
I remember you showed me the picture.
That looks awesome, dude.
Yeah,
So
it's professional.
if you happen to receive one of these cards, there might be something about this card and something we do.
Did you like 3D print those, or did you like pay to get those? Are very professional, man.
Yeah, I went to I don't know, what is it, that thing you go to, Vistaprint.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Vista, yeah.
I did the
They make
design
my
on
Christmas
my own.
cards.
Yeah, I did the design on my own. This is all, like me. Just all the design was me.
Right.
But the printing was them. And it's awesome because they're super cheap. So, but if you were to happen to find me at Too Many Games and receive one of these cards, I have a funny feeling that I'm probably going to do it. There might be something written on the card, and then you might be invited to watch, say, the Evercast or another video on the channel that might be random. And should you happen to have the card with a certain number on it, I don't know. Maybe things happen. I don't know.
Ooh.
Just saying. Just
I
putting it
see
out
where you're going. That sounds
Just putting it out
awesome.
there.
Dude, that
So-
sounds wicked fun.
So yeah, so
That's
if
awesome.
you see me running around, I'll be running around in some kind of geeky T-shirt. I will likely be running around in a bacon ice cream T-shirt because that seems appropriate.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I mean, I just want to go over there, and this is the scouting mission. I've never been to Too Many Games, so I just want to go in there, experience things, run into people, have chats, do whatever, and then plan for something maybe bigger next year. Because I when I go to cons like that, I always want to participate.
Yeah.
I always want to be a part of it.
Never been to
And
one.
I miss that because I haven't been in on the being a part of side in a very long time. We used to
Are
run
you looking for anything like Master System stuff? Like if there's like some cool Master System,
hunting. Oh
Like-
yeah,
like if you
yeah.
can find some games or even like a console for like a
yeah. Very very limited in the purchase of especially Master System. Even though like I love it and I want to collect, I have literally no room for any of that stuff. But somebody's got a table full of Game Gear games. I'm your guy.
There you go.
Because they'll fit, because I can print out a couple more of these holders here, and they'll stack nicely on top of each other, and I can just put them right here on my desk. So
there you go.
Nice.
is it 12 or 13 I can fit on there, so I can stack them up maybe 3 or 4 high. Yeah, I'm
Like
a
58.
yeah
That's great.
yeah.
There you
So-
go.
I'll be looking for Game Gear games, that's for sure.
And Game Gear games are pretty cheap too, so that's a good.
Yeah, I mean,
Good time to
usually-
go.
Yeah.
most of them are pretty decently. There's only a few. In fact, as far as the ones I don't own, because I started at the top down actually.
Nice.
There's only 2 I don't own that are at the top. That's Mega Man and Pete Sampras Tennis, the Codemasters game. So those 2 are pretty pricey. It's like $189 for Mega Man, and on average, and it's like $120 for Pete Sampras. Cart
Wow.
only.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so
Hey, Brian's got it. He's up to 66 Game Gear.
66 Game Gear, yeah,
Nice.
man. Go for it. Go for it, man. Yeah, I'm a ways behind you there. I've got a stack of 9 here, 10 with the I got 1 in the box. Speaking of, actually, I want to say this is one of the Kitchen Brothers. I want to say I got a copy of Super Battle Tank, and if I'm not mistaken, one of the Kitchen Brothers, Dan or Gary, did this game. It
Nice.
was one of the last.
Okay.
Might have been the last game that they did. It was the
Very
reason why.
great.
Don't touch it.
Timber.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's
Stupid gravity.
That's right.
Hate that stuff.
Yeah, just throwing cartridges everywhere.
Yeah.
So
It's
anyway,
okay, they're
that's
destructible.
So that's what we got. We got going on.
Right
So-
on, man.
So cool stuff. So anyway, that's pretty much it then. That wraps
Right
it
on.
up. I want to thank you so much, Chris, for coming in and hanging out with us.
No, I appreciate you inviting me, guys.
It's an awesome time. We've got
This was a blast.
pretty much
Yep.
open door policy. Anytime you want to come in and hang out, we're good to
Yeah,
go.
yeah. We got to get
Right
him on
on.
Evercast, though. We got to
Yeah,
get
we
him on
got
Evercast.
to figure out a way to have you off on a
Yeah.
Saturday.
Well, let me dive deeper into this console.
Yeah.
Of course.
Unless you
Yeah.
just want, it's cool so far.
No, I got it.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's no time limit. I'm thinking sometime between now and 2023. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get you in there.
Sometime
We'll get you.
between now and when you die.
Because
Aw.
what's interesting, Chris, is you'll have a unique perspective because a lot of us have been there from the beginning. So I'll be very curious
Right.
to see like somebody getting into it like now, 2022, and
Mhm.
kind of collecting at their own speed, like what you think of it and all that
Exactly.
good stuff.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Awesome. So that's good stuff. It's good stuff. So I guess there's the only thing to do is to say,
Well, we
we'll
created
see you-
content. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
That's it. All right. We'll catch you next time, guys. Thanks so much.
Hey, see you later, everybody.
Retro gamers.
This concludes our broadcast day. Click.